Coverage of the Brian Walsh trial continues this morning as jury selection is set to begin later this morning.
Joining us live is Daniel Medwed, a criminal justice professor at Northeastern University. Daniel, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Antoinette and Doug.
Well, the judge said potential jurors can't be on social media or watch the news, and even she recognized that this was a big ask of them. What challenges do courts face in ensuring an impartial jury in cases that receive extensive media coverage like this one?
Well, that's exactly the issue. You're not expecting potential jurors to have lived under a rock and not have heard of a case, but you want to make sure that they can keep an open mind and look at the issues objectively. And part of that, Antoinette, is ensuring that they minimize or perhaps eliminate their social media and news access. It's a tall ask, but it's something that we request of them at least.
Professor, how difficult is it to prosecute a murder case when the victim's body has never been found?
Oh, that's a tough one, Doug. Was it Taylor Swift who said no body, no crime? That's not true. You can still prosecute a case without the body. It's called the corpus delicti doctrine. Don't hold me to it. It's a Latin phrase. You're allowed to do it. The challenge, though, is the case is entirely circumstantial. In a typical murder case where you do find the body, there might be direct evidence. There might be fingerprints. There might be DNA. There might be something that directly connects the suspect to the crime. Here, it's entirely circumstantial, which means it's a tougher case to build. That said, it appears as though there's a mountain of evidence pointing in his direction.
So let's stay with that, the evidence here, circumstantial evidence. What do you think is likely to be the most persuasive in this trial?
Oh, gosh, that's a good guess, Antoinette, or good question. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, from my perspective, the Google searches are very compelling evidence, assuming that's all admitted at trial, because one of the keys here, of course, is motive, establishing that he had a motive to kill her and that, in fact, he had a plan and did so. So motive could be established potentially from some of the background evidence about their acrimonious relationship, a potential extramarital affair. But in terms of proving that he planned it and he executed it, I think the Google searches and the video from him purchasing those cleaning supplies, if all of that comes into evidence, that could be very compelling.
Okay, we will see what happens as jury selection gets started today, and after that, the trial gets underway. Daniel Medwed, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.